Can't leave comments, but I can see what
Yeah,
it looks like. Okay.
and we go. And hello, good evening, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are. Welcome. We are here with a very special guest, one of the best riders in the world in one wheel. That is Chris, the legend of the one wheels. First of all, thank you for coming. And the first questions, like always, uh, how that everything started for you.
How did it
In
start? Yeah. Okay. Well, you know those annoying Facebook ads when you're scrolling through that nobody ever clicks on? Well, I saw one wheel and I clicked on it. So I was thinking, could this thing really be as fun as it looks? So I looked at it and decided, yeah, okay, I'm going to order this thing. So I ordered it. It's like $1,500. This was when the pluses were just being pre ordered. So I'm like, okay, $1,500 for this thing? Like, is this going to be Chinese junk or what? And so a couple of days later, I'm like, man, that was stupid. I got to cancel this order. I could get a refund. And so I go looking on YouTube and I see some videos. I'm like, okay, wait a minute. This looks really cool. I'm like, how can there be something this cool that I've never heard of? So I kept the order. And 2 months later, back in the days, you had to wait 2 months to get your one wheel because they were so backed up they couldn't make them fast enough. And so I got it, and this is just a few days after I got it. These videos right here, I'm just figuring this out. Like, I'd only
in
had it
a,
for maybe a couple of weeks, and I ordered another one like 2 days after I got my first one. I'm like, this is just way too much fun, and I've just been addicted ever since.
it was like love in a first sight.
Oh yeah, once I got my feet on this thing, I was just addicted. And at the time, I was like, I mean, I look like a kind of a scrawny guy now. I'm like 150 pounds, got a little bit of muscle on me, but at the time, I was like 175, and I was just dad bod sitting on the couch for years. I hadn't done anything. I'd skateboarded when I was younger, but it'd been a few years since I'd stepped on a skateboard even. And uh, so this thing just it turned my health around. I had back problems for years. Those are gone. Dropped like 25 pounds, more than that. I'm up a little bit. But yeah, one wheel's just been great for my health. It's been amazing amount of fun. This is right by my house. I got little things to play around on, and if you've seen any of my videos, I like the tricks. I like just
Yeah,
cruising, the group rides, trails, pretty much everything.
yes, I know that. I know because one of the first guys I see making videos to instruct the guys who want to learn was the videos was from you. I see it myself, and I say that is a fantastic idea to help all the guys around the world to know first what is a one wheel, and second is the safety, and you bring everything to to the table, and I think that is fantastic. Just for everybody to know, this is the videos all from Chris. That is from his YouTube. If you want to go to his channel, I'm going to leave all the links here. Then you're going to see lots. You can go to his Facebook. Then you're going to have his Instagram, and then you're going to have his uh, YouTube channel. You're going to have lots of videos there. You're going to have lot of education videos for you to one wheels who want to start to try it, or you don't know what is a one wheel, or you don't know how to do something, how to ride one wheel, what is the important things. Me person, I was one of the guys who see lots of videos from him because he teach you how to do tricks and everything. That's why if you have a chance, go to his channel, subscribe. He's a fantastic YouTuber, and of course, he's a great rider. I know that you have an accident that is not so long. How is everything for you in this time? You have to stop with this. with this injury. If you see,
Yeah,
guys, here is is injured, but he's always riding.
yeah. I had to record some. I had a really bad crash. I was going way too fast, and I crashed on. I unfortunately the app wasn't connected. I don't know how fast I was going, but I was maxed out on a growler with a stunt pack battery, which is a lot more powerful than a regular
Hmm.
battery. So probably close to 30 miles an hour, and I fell on the asphalt and tumbled, and I severed all three tendons in my AC joint. So it's
Ooh,
a pretty serious surgery. I had to have my shoulder reconstructed, and it's not 100% yet, but I've been training hard and doing all my PT and taking a lot of supplements and drugs to get it going. I did PRP and stem cell, all sorts of stuff, and it's helped. I do therapy every day, either on my own or with a physical therapist, and it's helped. I think I'm about 10 weeks out from surgery now, and I'm doing things that the doctors are amazed that I can do. My physical
that
therapist
is.
says it's the fastest he's ever seen anybody heal from that surgery because I'm devoted to get back on that one wheel. So I'm back on now. Here's me with a sling. I really shouldn't have been doing that. Don't let my doctor see those videos, but it was
It's
only a
going to.
couple of days after the surgery before I got back on the wheel and was just cruising around. I had this massive immobilizer sling on, and I couldn't move my arms, but I had to ride. So much
It
better
was.
now. It's just been a long road. It's been a really rough recovery. It was really painful. And
I know, my friend, because I have the accident too, and I know how difficult. I broke here my shoulder too,
uh,
and I know that is I'm close to 1 year now, and I'm every day, and I broke my hand too, and I know how difficult is that. That's why I asked you. Was the first question I asked you in private. Now I ask you again, uh, uh, because I know it's very difficult. And you so fast riding again in your one wheel is fantastic. It's very good to see. And my friend, like I always ask to everybody, uh, that was the first electro machine that you try it, or do you try something before and that was not for you?
oh, this is the only thing I ever tried, so it spoiled me for a lot of the other ones. Like electric skateboards. This is really my style. I mean,
Okay.
I see a lot of people like the unicycles, and they seem really cool. They're fast and a lot more powerful, and the things you can do with the skateboards and the bikes and all. But I grew up skateboarding, and this to me, it takes skateboarding to another level. Like being able to go off road and have the big tire. That big tire is so great. I've tried the boosted boards, and after riding the one wheel, the boosted felt very like too stiff. You hit a little rock and it could send you flying. I like the off road capabilities of the one wheel. You give up a lot to have the fun of a one wheel. You're not going to have the top speed of other electrics. You're not going to have the range. You're not going to have the power. But the fun factor for me just fits me like a glove. I love it.
Today we talk in private too about that. Today you work with this fantastic company, with these fantastic guys. Is the Flow Life? Can you talk a little more about why do you join them? What was the reason? Why
Yeah.
bring you?
Well, they've always had the best teams. Back when I first started, they were we were around even before I started. They were not too long after then. And Float Life Fest 1, it was a good battle between me and the Float Life guys. Cody and Jeff took first and second place. I took third place in the very first Float Life Fest in the tricks competition, all ages. And
Sorry,
then after that, all these new kids coming in. I'm 47 years old, so kids
we
coming in
are the two of
better.
us. I'm 40. I'm 47 years old too, my friend.
Yeah.
We are the
So
we are we are together. 74.
yeah, so 73. I was 73, late 73.
Okay.
But yeah, so it was the old guy with the young kids and all. But I think I've showed a lot of people that even at our age, you can still do a lot. I may do a lot more than most, but I'm really devoted to it. But take care of your body, take care of your food intake, your health, and you can do a lot even at the older ages. And Float Life, I'm fortunate that they put me on just recently on their Float Life team. So they kind of have a minor leagues and then the pro team. I'm not on the pro team. I'm on the minor leagues team, but still, they hook me up with some gear and take care of me. They've always been good to me ever since the beginning, and so it's nice to be on with them and have that recognition. And
But
they've been great.
but the float team, they are fantastic, and they are like a big family. I think you came to a very good group of persons, because they are always happy. They're always doing tricks. They're always doing something for the community. They bring always something special for all of us. I think they are maybe the more active of all around the world, and they represent the Onewheels
Yeah, they
for
really do.
everybody. I think that is one of the fantastic what we have, and the flow life. I think that is one of the best of the world. And last year we tried to go there, but because of the COVID-19, nobody let us fly from Europe. And I hope this year we have the chance again to go
Yeah.
there. And my friend, what do you like more? You as a rider, what do you like more? Do you like to go more off roads? Do you like more street and making playing with the board with the one wheel? What is you prefer, or you like both of them?
That's a good question, and it's kind of shifted because when I first started, uh, I've heard some people agree with me, some disagree. But when I first started, I tried to learn on grass, and it was
Hmm.
not easy. I thought it'd be easier because it can roll on grass, and if you fall, it's safer. But it was so hard to balance on grass, so that I eventually got it on the asphalt, and then you can balance a lot better. And so I think it's better to train somebody to learn on the asphalt. So I started getting into my tricks and stuff, and then I get into the grass, and I really like the grass because you have terrain. You could go find little hills and ride, and you'll see a lot of my early videos are on the grass. And then I
Yeah.
eventually got the slide block, and I would always put it on the grass because it at the time, back in the days, if any of you have been riding Onewheels for years, they were not as reliable as they are now. They would break all the damn time. I was bricking boards left and right. I had to have 4 boards just so I could keep the one sent to future motion coming back to me, and I kept breaking them. So grass was my buddy because if you tumble a board on concrete, it's done. They were really fragile. But so then as the boards got more reliable, I started riding more on concrete, asphalt, street type stuff because it's stabler, so it's easier to do a lot of tricks and all. It's harder to fall on, but so now I still do both. I like both. But I've kind of gone. I used to be a lot more off road. Now I'm more on road. I do a lot of trails too,
Mhm.
but those are all off road.
But
I like them both.
for you as a rider with so many years of, first of all, how many hours do you take every day to train?
Um,
Before the day, of course, you are more experienced, but before, when you started.
when I started, I was pretty much writing it a lot. It would be at least a couple hours a day. There were times when I would have 2 pluses, the Onewheel Plus. You could only write it doing tricks for maybe 45 minutes. And
Hmm.
then to charge, it would take like 45 minutes. So I'd have 2. I'd run one until I'd run out of battery, switch it to the other, switch the other. And, sometimes I'd go for hours and hours. Nowadays, especially with my shoulder, I don't do that much, but sometimes I'll ride an hour in the morning, an hour in the afternoon, probably an average of about an hour a day. I'm down now. I need to ride more, but I'm getting my health back and strengthening back to where I can
That's the important
stand.
thing.
Yeah.
That is the important thing. And what you recommend for all the persons who want to start to make tricks in a grass, or in a concrete, or in a street?
Definitely get your wrist guards and helmet, and uh, I would start probably in the grass. Get comfortable riding on pavement and all that. Then get comfortable riding on the grass. Then start working your tricks in the grass. I think, and then because you need to. What I One of the reasons I started with the whole safety thing was that there was really a lack in the community for safety for
Hmm.
people to And there's a reason for that. Our age, the average age of anybody riding any electric, but especially one wheels,
Mm-hmm.
is pretty high.
It's
We've done
pretty high.
it's in the high 30s, age 30s.
Mm-hmm.
So what it usually is, it's somebody that used to have some sort of board sports background, and then they've been out of it for years. Then they get older and they find this cool new thing, and so they jump on it and go. But imagine if you were like a college football athlete and you hadn't played football in 20 years, and you went out and tried to play with the kids and the 250-pound linebackers, you'd get crushed. And so that's what
Yeah.
happening basically to us is you haven't done anything in 20 years. You get a one wheel, you jump on it, you go 20 miles an hour, you nose drive, you break your collarbone. So I saw way too many people doing that. So I started getting into the idea of the safety thing, trying to help people understand that they need to give it a little more respect than they might naturally give it when they first start riding. So that's why I started the One Wheel 101 series. And I'm like, I can't wait until I learn the skills to make fancy videos and edits and all. I'm just going to put a GoPro on a tripod and talk and try to at least help some people, because I've been teaching all my life. I've been studying NLP, hypnosis, teaching pretty much anything you can imagine. So I can convey concepts to people at a very high level, very quickly. I talk
I
a
see
lot.
all your videos. I see
Yeah.
all your videos, and I say that is fantastic. How you explain everything is so easy. I think you make explanations so fantastic. I recommend for everybody. Everybody is now live or going to see the video later. Go. That is one of the videos is instructing and saying how can you do all different types. There is lots of videos explaining. That's why I recommend for everybody to go there and see it. And the other thing, what I see from you on one of the videos, that you start that you lose weight with this sport, that you was more active. I see most of your videos, my friend,
Oh,
and I
great.
think that's why I think you are a legend for all of us, because with our age, we are, when you started, I think we was about maybe 43, 44,
Yeah,
I
right
don't know.
around that.
And yeah, and then I see all the videos, and you bring this persons more than 30 years to do something. We don't stop. We don't need to stop. When you think you are old, no, you're not old. We are old when we sit in a sofa and we don't do nothing. That is the bad thing for us. And here is a sport for everybody. That's why I recommend for everybody who wants, go there, see your YouTube channel, subscribe, help him, because he makes lots of contents for all of us. Then I have another question here. That is from York. York is from Germany, and he was with you guys in the first flow life. Uh-huh. And he has a question. What was your first reaction when you see the Saint Booty do
I
the
know.
legendary with the? What was your reaction?
Yeah, for anybody that doesn't know, that's Bodie Harrison is who he's talking about. At the time, he was like a 16-year-old kid, and he was a professional paddleboarder and other things too. And so he was really good with the one wheels. He had a one wheel before I did. He had them back in the V1 days. I started with the Plus days. But so Float
Mm-hmm.
Life Fest 1, we're playing around on that stuff that you've seen in some of the videos he had here.
Mm-hmm.
And he broke his board like the first day. So he borrowed a V1 from somebody, put it into elevated mode so he could get enough speed to come up the ramp. And he just goes full bore as fast as you can go up the ramp, across the flat, and then bonks off the end and cleared the whole downslide rail, which at the time nobody had done. I mean, there a lot of people had done bonks, I had, whatever, but not that far for distance. So seeing it was, so I'm trying it a couple times. I'm like, that ain't never gonna happen. Then he ends up nailing it later, and everybody's like, "Oh my god, that was awesome!" And he's a great guy, and he's like my contact now at Float Life, so we talk a lot. And he's been so great for the sport, advancing it. And he's always pushing the limits. And man, if I had a young body like that, the shit I would try too. I would love to have that advantage again, but I get to watch these young kids do amazing shit, and yeah, that was one that. My reaction. Let me tell you my reaction to that. I was salty as fuck when I saw him do that. I'm like, you little son of a bitch, that little kid did that. For a moment, we were cool ever since the beginning, but I was like, oh, I have to do that. So I went home, and all I did for like 2 months was bonk. I was bonking everything. I was finding pieces of rocks and roots and wood, and I made things. I went like in wood shop. I'm like making things to try to make a bonk block. I should have brought it in from my car. I still have it, like the same shape as the thing he bonked off. So I'm like, that thing must have been like the perfect shape for him to bonk. So I trained and trained. And I think by the end of that, and for a long time, I think I had the highest bonks of anybody, probably for at least a year. Because I sat there day after day and I just like drilled it. But yeah, that's what can happen when you're dedicated to something and somebody inspires you. You're like, yeah, all over it. So
I'm trying to see here. Here, I think you are explaining here. Let's see if it's this one. For, the other, when we are seeing the other thing here is like I always, why the Ferrari? Do you have a love for the Ferrari? It's
Well, I
like
think
very.
ever since I was a kid, I loved like the color red was my favorite. I loved red and black, that combination. And I always loved exotic cars and always wished when I grew up that I could have a Ferrari. That's like the iconic thing. And I loved the style, the aggression of it. And so when I grew up and I started making some actual money, I bought a Ferrari. I had one for a while. And I went and I would teach race car driving. I was a racing instructor. One of the many things I've taught over my life is something very difficult to do and challenging and expensive. I eventually got out of all that, but I've always loved Ferraris. And so Onewheels just never looked right to me in the blue.
Yeah, okay.
So they always look right to me in red and black, a little yellow, mix it up sometimes. Sometimes I do all yellow, but I just love that style. So all my boards are a combination of red, black, and yellow.
And my friend, for you, what is better, slick tires or off-road tires? Because I see you always with slick tires.
Yeah, almost entirely slick. I finally put on a treaded tire for trails maybe about a year ago, and that was my first treaded tire I ever owned because I've had so many boards, but I want all of my boards kind of need to be street ready. I never had a dedicated off-road or trail board, so I bought an extra hub, put a treaded tire on it, and so I had that, and so almost entirely slick. What really got me to switch over to actually have a treaded tire was I'd ride with Dom Williams, who's probably the fastest trail rider in the world, another phenom kid, and he talked me into it, and and I rode his board, and it worked great and all that. But now I ride with Dom, and he's gone back to slick. Kind of strange. He's like, I'm back on trail. He's like, yeah, that's pretty much all I ride now. I don't have treaded on my boards at all anymore. But he's so good, I guess he doesn't need it. So I don't know. I think I still need to tread it on trails.
And what do you prefer to? Do you prefer more riding in a day and doing all the stuff in a day, or you like to go in a night and have a nice ride? What are you, or both?
I like, well, day or night, anytime I can do tricks where I'm comfortable. So in the daytime, I'm in Florida, so it's hot here almost all year round. So I either have to find a place in the shade or at night with lights or suffer in the sun. But I also love doing the group rides. Here I'm in South Florida near Fort Lauderdale, and I ride with the Miami guys a lot and the Fort Lauderdale guys a lot. So we have night rides, group rides, probably 4 or 5 days a week. And anytime I want to go out, we have a beer, ride around, charge up, have another beer, you ride around, have something to eat. We go try to find trails that you're not allowed to get into and kind of sneak in. We got this abandoned zoo in Miami we go ride. So the night rides are amazing around here. If you ever are in Miami, we've always got a spare board. Come on down, come ride with us at night. We
for sure, my friend. For sure. Then I see you riding last day with let's say with a group ride. It's about 2 days ago. I see you a video from you on Facebook with a bar dancing. Let's see if I see this video. Oh, here, there he is.
Yeah. Bart Miller came down to visit, and we got to ride with him.
He's a crazy guy. He was here with us for the interview, and he's a fantastic.
Oh,
But
great.
that day was about 2 weeks ago, and I think in 2 or 3 weeks is going to come his wife too, because every Sunday we bring always ladies here.
Oh, nice. Yeah, she's great. Man,
Yeah,
he's
we
lucky.
always bring Sundays. We always bring ladies here, ladies riding,
That's
uh,
great. What
because
a
I think.
life it must be to have a wife or girlfriend that rides with you. Man,
but
how
my
much
wife
fun is
don't
that?
my wife don't ride.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
is difficult. Not everybody likes to out sport. The other
But for the
thing,
women out there, though, what you cannot do better than dating a one wheel man because you got a guy that's into fun stuff, that's athletic. They, men like their expensive toys, but this is a lot cheaper than a boat or a race car or pretty much any other hobby. Sure, they're $2,000 a piece, whatever. And plus, if he goes out and he's gone late till late at night and he comes home, he was hanging around with a bunch of guys. He was not hanging around with a bunch of girls. So go find you a one wheel man, ladies. That's
oh, he's out. I just want to say maybe as a technical problem, he's going to come back for all of you. Give him just 1 minute or something like that. It was maybe a problem. He's going to come back. For everybody there, thank you for coming, and that is fantastic. He's here again,
yeah, I got
and
figured out somehow.
I just want to say, my friend here, do you have a question here from tires? Which one? What is the difference from them, from the Boris extra run, the FF, and the D10A for you? Can you explain that to everybody? Maybe if you know.
Yeah. So when he's saying D10A, he's talking about the D10. The 10 is
Hmm.
a softness of the compound. 10 is very squishy. And so what that gives you is a quiet ride. The tire doesn't last as long, but they tend to make those lightweight, so you get pretty good battery range on it. Uh, the Flight Fins Whisper tire is probably a D10A. They don't say what it is, but it's probably a D10 because it's soft and quiet. I had Whispers on all my boards and I liked it, but I took them off because of two reasons. And these probably won't affect most of you. One is that they didn't last very long. And with the tricks I do and spinning the tire up against curbs and stuff, I'd wear them out quickly. And they were sticky, which is a good thing for almost everybody. But if I'm trying to slide something and that wheel's spinning against it, I don't want it sticky. So I went to a harder tire. And then you do get different shapes. So a D10A versus a Flight Fins Whisper, I think, are very similar. You're not going to feel a whole lot of difference. But the Flight Fins Whisper is supposed to have been built for the one wheel, so it's supposed to have a better shape. I think it has a good shape. I love the way it feels. The Burris Extra Rad is a little bit flatter, I think, in the middle. But it feels pretty good. I'm not crazy about it. I tend to run Hoosier, just off-the-shelf slicks, because they cost a lot less, and they're fine. And so I usually run a little bit harder compound Hoosier slicks on my
Yeah.
XRs.
I have another question here from question. All of your tricks are done using the general one wheel. What firewall do you use?
Yeah, I get this question a lot because people want to know if I'm using like custom or doing anything like modifying the board to make it do what it does. But mostly my boards are all 4209 firmware, so they're the older firmware, and they are in mission all the time.
Okay.
I don't mess with the custom firmware. It's just mission, no modifications to the software or hardware. Just pretty much factory with a lot of stuff to make it look different. New tire, float plates or bang bumpers. Now the bang bumpers, which are pretty awesome, and that's about it usually. Foot pads, custom foot pads.
Yeah, and then we're going to talk about this. That is the information for lots of persons who ask this, and I think you was in 3 events from this. How was the experience from this amazing? Because the last one I think was more than 500 one wheelers there.
This was when you watch this video, this helmet cam video, and I took the helmet cam and I put it up on YouTube just unedited. And I thought, let's put it up there, maybe get a couple hundred views, whatever. This has been one of my most popular videos because you can really feel how crazy this was. This was
I see the video complete.
Over 200 riders all at once, all no staging. Everybody goes the same time. I did not get a good start. So you see me fighting from the rear the whole time. And still, at 46 years old, I took 11th place out of 200, all the best riders in the world, all the kids. And I did pretty good, even though speed's not my thing, especially now anymore. After the shoulder, I don't think speed's ever going to be my thing anymore. But it was amazing. Oh, my God. People were wrecking everywhere and pushing the limits. And it was a blast.
As you imagine, first of all, do you imagine that was going to be so crazy like in this day? Because when I see the first time, everything in line, and I say, whoa, that is brutal. You see here the confusion. Everybody wants to go. That was like a survivor.
Look at I'm like at the back. I'm starting from the back, and they're just gone. But it makes it more exciting because you see me pass so many people and avoid so many people that wreck in front of me. Oh, this was so much fun. And I used to race cars. So I have a lot of racing experience and a lot of that skills and knowledge transfers. So I'm thinking like racing lines and also like which side do I want to be on? Who do I want to avoid? How are these people moving in front of me? And your heart's beating 1,000 beats a minute. You're just pumped, and you can hear me breathing hard through the whole thing, just trying to get air. And I'm consciously trying to breathe and get a lot of oxygen. So I'm breathing heavy on purpose. I'm like trying to.
What wheel was you using in this day? What tire?
This was going to be a Hoosier 6 Slick. This might have been a Whisper. This might have been at the time that I used to ride Whispers all the time. So it was definitely a Hoosier 6 Slick.
When I see it, you in the back, I was like, okay, that is not going to happen. Nothing else. It's just going to enjoy it. And I see it, and I say, okay, that is 27 minutes. Maybe that's going to happen something special. And then I stayed to see all of them, and then you came to the position what you came. That is not easy. But I think what changed is when you come to this now. This part is lots of persons lose a lot of time.
It's and you they said when you get off your board and you're carrying it, you can't pass anybody.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
That's one of the reasons why this is kind of weird. Is we got a lot of these long straightaways. We come up here, we get to a part where some people can make it through, but people crash in front of you. You have no choice. But here up a little bit further, they said that as soon as you get off your board and you're carrying it, you're not allowed to pass anybody. So I lost a lot of time there. Dom Williams, sneaky little bastard, he got ahead early, and every time he got here, so there's still people in front of him because he's lapping them. He would get off his board, and since he was in the front, he thought it was okay for him to pass people. So he would run past people all the way up, and so his lead kept going further and further. And Jeff and Bodie and all the other fast people, they were playing by the rules and not passing anybody. So Dom just took way off ahead. It technically wasn't against the rules, so they didn't call him out on it. He still won, and he probably was still the fastest. He would have won anyway. But so this is why you see us. People are not passing because it's not a contest of who can carry their board the fastest.
Yeah.
So then everybody gets back on their boards and goes.
That's one thing I didn't know, that we cannot pass when you are out of your board. That is the first person who tell me about that, because Igna was there and Yok was there, and they don't tell me about that. But for me to understand, now that you talk about it, we're going to continue. What you think you need lots of skills and lots of time to go like this, to go off-road so fast. You have to be good prepared. It's not easy for you just to go there and just make. That was 2 rounds. Is that right? 2 or 3 rounds? How many rounds?
I think it's 5 laps.
5 laps, yes. It's something like that. It's not easy for a person to make 5 laps off-road with so many speed, so many pumps, so many tanks. You have to have a background of training.
it helps to have some experience to withstand that physical effort and do it safely. But I don't. And somebody told me this not that long ago, and it changed the way I think about things a lot. Is that it was about dancing. I'm like, oh, I have no talent for dancing. He said, don't ever say that. It's not about talent. Everybody can do it. It's just putting in the time and the effort. And I found that to be the true with Onewheels. I've seen people pick up Onewheels with no physical ability, no talent, 2 left flat feet, and they just decided they really wanted to do it, and they focused and studied and put their time in and go work out and get your body more flexible, do some yoga or something, and then you'll be amazed how fast those skills develop. What you do and what you think about is what you become, and it happens faster than you think.
And you, Chris, do you think you're going to, if you recover or not, do you think you're going to race again?
I don't know. That may be the last thing that I would probably race, but not seriously. I probably wouldn't push it to the absolute limit anymore, because if I fall again, even within the next 6 months, there's a good chance I would break this back open. And
I know that
the second time would be much worse. So contest of speed, I may not do much anymore. I may focus more on the tricks and trails and stuff like that. But it's a shame. We've been getting into locally here. We have some of the fastest trail riders in the world, and we've been using Strava. I don't know if you have Strava, but it's an app, and it allows you to record lap times around your trails. And so we've been doing that here, and I was getting really fast. I set a record in one little area, and I was just starting to really get into it, and then I wrecked. But that's something that's good for people to learn on, because you go do a lap and you try to beat your time.
And then, but for everybody to understand, flow life is not the race; is the party. The important thing is everybody comes together in there, and there is different types of sports there. For Onewheels, you can make this race. You can make tricks. You can make party. You cannot make nothing, just enjoy. The important thing is everybody comes together for 3 days or more.
I think I went for about a week, the last one. I finished 3. I went early and helped them build some ramps and stuff. But I think most people come for about 3 days, 3 or 4 days. And there's a lot to do. Yeah, there's so much to do, and it's the biggest gathering of Onewheels. There's another one coming up in April called Dirt Surfers. That one's going to be pretty big.
But do you think they're going to open? They're going to open in USA is better now for you to go out and ride, because here in Europe everything is closed.
I forget about that sometimes. You guys have it worse than we do sometimes with your politics. I mean, there's some places in the United States that are really bad. I live in Florida. We have a lot of freedoms. Florida's great. One of maybe only 2 or 3 states in our country, in the United States, that we ended the lockdowns a while ago. You can go out and have a beer. You can go out to restaurants. So, we still see a lot of people walking around with masks on. Hey, if that's your thing, go ahead. But you have to wear a mask going into stores. But I know it's worse in Europe. You guys are having a hard time. Sorry for that. Yeah. But I rode through the whole time. The pandemic never stopped me riding, because I just go out and ride by myself in the parks. And
yeah, but that's why I come to the next question, my friend. That is the important. Now that you talk about that, how is the laws? That is different states. That is different. How is the laws with you guys there in USA? Is okay for you to ride, is no problem, because I have lots of guys coming here and they're saying that there is lots of discussions in a moment in some states that they want to maybe close it for you guys.
Yeah, I've heard that there's some places in Europe that don't allow them now, and that's really sad. What I mostly hear about from people in other states, as far as I know, in Florida, almost everywhere you can ride. There's some beaches they don't like you riding on the actual sand on the beach. There's some areas, like we got an area of the boardwalk that they don't like us riding on, so we just skip it. But Florida, pretty much you can ride anywhere. If you've seen our videos in Miami, we ride around. We're zipping in and out of traffic. We see the cops, we wave and smile. We just go. We got a beer in one hand, a joint in the other, just riding along.
But you respect it.
Oh, absolutely. Hey, that's one thing I always tell everybody. I'm like, never leave trash, always respect. When you see a cop, nod and smile and wave.
Mhm.
It goes a long way. But I have heard of some cities that are thinking about it, and all I can say is try to keep your ear to the ground. And if you hear about any place in whatever country you're in that's considering it, go to your city council meetings and bring your one wheel, hold it up, say,
Yes.
look, this is it. And I think the most important things you can say is, look, we're green, we're saving you parking spaces downtown because we'll park further away and ride our one wheels in. We're spending money in your towns. We don't damage anything. In Florida, and this should probably be a good pattern or standard to bring forth to other places, even other countries. In Florida, they have a special law that allows, I won't go into it too much, but basically things like one wheels, it was designed for Segway. Segway, when Segways came out, they thought it was going to be this big thing. They spent money and had their lawyers go into Florida and go and say, we want to be defined as like a bicycle. And so pretty much you can ride your Segways anywhere that you can ride a bicycle. And so one wheels kind of fall into that category. So that's a good thing to kind of point your government towards, to say, look, there's precedent for this. This is, plus these things are easier accessible for a lot of people than a bicycle. There's a lot of people that could ride a one wheel that can't ride a bicycle. So it's not like a wheelchair or a handicapped accessible thing, but it does give accessibility to some people that have physical limitations that wouldn't otherwise be able to go and participate and be outdoors and all that. So just go and be nice to everybody. If you go ride your trails, volunteer for the trail days to help them build trails and stuff, and make it so we never get a bad reputation and we never have to deal with that.
Yeah, that's why I always say, because I'm going to tell you something. I have in this last months, I have lots of interviews with lots of guys from USA and lots of states. They are worried because there is lots of people making bad examples and not respecting the laws and putting videos out in the streets doing stuff that upsets lots of persons. And I know there is lots of petitions in your country that they want to close. They want to shut down the electro bikes, electro skateboards, and everything, because the young guys, they are in the streets, they are doing lots of mistakes, and they show that in videos. And in these videos, they're going to use it. They're going to use it for shut it down. I tell to everybody. That's why I always bring. He's going to come here next month. He's a fantastic rider too, and I tell to everybody. I live in Germany. In Germany, it's illegal. You cannot ride it. And if the police catch you, they're going to take it and they're going to destroy it. And you're going to pay a fine. And the fines, maybe they can come to 3,000-4,000 euros or more.
Wow.
That's why if you have freedom in the USA or other countries, don't lose it.
Yeah.
I tell to everybody, that is the most funny. Look here, this video. Everybody having fun. Okay, that is not in the street. This is not nothing to do what we are
Private
talking
property.
about. Yes, that is nothing to do. Yeah. Let me see. Here, I'm going to put it here. Wait a second. I was talking to you, and then I forget about because that is the important thing. This week we're going to have a very live talk here. And this talk, you are in
number 11 should be.
Yeah, you here.
They show me 15 here, but it should be 11. Yeah.
Yeah, you are in 15 here. But
out of over 200.
Yeah.
That was a good race.
Yeah, that was a fantastic race. Then I say to everybody, just because Chris is here, is from USA. There is lots of videos from USA that are damage other countries. Don't I'm talking about us, because everybody's going to make a video and they're not going to say from what country is that. The important thing is bad for all of us. Use of freedom, don't lose it. Freedom is always the important thing, and be green. So let's go to that. It's not what, of course, the worst moment of your life is going to be easy. What was the worst day of your life in this last years of riding electric?
Well, it was definitely this wreck. It put a lot of things in perspective, and I really don't want to. It gets hard when you get to be this age and you start to admit that you're not invincible. I
Yes.
mean, I've had some falls before,
That
and
is from your accident.
yeah, you can see it sticking up. It's
Mm-hmm.
because all three tendons were severed. They couldn't do like a normal surgery. It would have been
Mm-hmm.
better if I broke the collarbone. If I broke the
Okay.
collarbone, I'd be back in 6 weeks. But this was since the tendons were all severed, they had to rebuild it out of cadaver ligaments and sutures, and so and it'll never be as strong as the before.
Yeah.
So I had to well, there are some. I always try to look at the positives because if you point your mind towards the positives, that's what your mind will give you. And so I've learned a lot. I've learned a lot about healing. I've learned about a lot about the right supplements and drugs to take and the foods to eat. And I go to physical therapy and I see people that are just languishing there, making no progress because they show up, they're waiting for something to get done to them. This is not something that gets done to you to fix you. It's the
Mm-hmm.
things you get up, and even though it hurts, you wake up and I take my first step out of bed, and I got pain everywhere, but I get up and I push through it, and by the time I get warmed up out here riding, I feel great. And you got to push, and pushing when you don't have to is one of the
Yeah.
hardest things that anyone can ever do. We got lots of heroes out there, and you look at their history, and they were forced to do it. They grew up, and something terrible happened to them, and it made them do this, this, and this, and they become really talented as an athlete or whatever it is. But there's a rare story about somebody that has nothing like that in their past, and they just do it. They do it because they want it that bad, and that's what it takes, especially with recovery. Because with recovery, it's real easy. Everybody probably knows somebody that was in a sport in America. It's football. All the kids, they get injured and they get injured in their teens or 20s, and they're like, yeah, I used to be a good athlete until I wrecked my knee or my back or whatever. But then there's other people that get up and fight and push through it. And so then you're 47 years old and you're out doing stuff like this. And it didn't come to me right at the beginning. And I used to get a lot more injuries when I first started, but getting in better shape will reward you for the rest of your longer now life. Just get out there and get after it.
First of all, my friend, for all of first of all, I have lots of respect for you. I love you. I love as you write. I love as you comment your YouTube videos. I think you do lots of things for our community. I'm a big fan today of One Wheel, and most of the things that I know I can thank to you because I learn a lot from you, and I love One Wheel. I know that is not One Wheel is not for maybe for everybody, but One Wheel is so a special. I cannot. It's just a thing. Is like when you don't have the One Wheel, you don't have energy in your body. And I ride skateboards, electric skateboards. I like AUC, but One Wheel is just this device that. I don't have no words. It's like for me, it's like my energy, and I love
Yeah,
it to have it. And when I see guys like you who do so much stuff for us and show for us everything, like you see here, the person, a big fan from Chris, definitely the fastest one wheeler and rider, and the best respect from you from UK.
from the
You have
UK. Awesome.
yes. Yeah, you have here lots of guys. You have from Germany, you have from Spain, you have from Portugal. Lots of guy coming.
Wow, that's
Now
awesome.
is now you have from France. One of the best riders that keeps in France is coming now. That is a big up from Paris, Greece. That is
Yeah,
Chris.
I know.
There is a. You are my friend. You are the guru. That is the right word. Yes, Cedric. That is the right word. Cedric is going to come here. He's one of the guys who organized for us in France the first event. That is the name. It's electric. It make more than 200 persons together in one event,
Oh,
and it
wow.
was yeah, and it was like a crazy event. But because of the COVID-19, last year was he cannot do it. was stopped, and this year they was less about 2 months here with me, and they tell me this year they're not going to do it again because everything is closed. And it's very sad because they make an event, the two of them, and with the 3 or 4 persons from UK, and that was so good organized. As come people for all around the world, and that's why I always tell, like you, like Chris, like guys like you two that bring so many content for all of us. It's very difficult for us to find the right words for you guys. It's not easy just to say thank you, because look at you, how you write it. You make it so simple, and for everybody is there. I have to love you, my friend, and I hope that you recover very, very fast. I hope it's always difficult. I know, because I'm in a situation like you, and I know that is very difficult. And I hope that in 1 year you're going to be okay and make lots of contents from us, lots of videos. Guys, go there, subscribe to his channel. Subscribing, for everybody to understand, that is not because of the money, it's because then the video is going to come to the first ones. Everybody, the YouTube, that is like a machine, is going to make it that the okay, there is a lot of people clicking, then we're going to put this video in the first ones, then everybody going to see and his videos, and going to give him energy to make more for you guys. That is the important thing. So the other thing what I want to ask you, my friend, you as a rider, today I know that you don't like to go more fast like before. What you think that the Onewheel needs or is missing in this board, that they can maybe when they make the new one or update, what do you think as Chris that you recommend that they can change it?
If I had to pick one thing, and it's the same thing that I've been telling them, and I've told Julian from Future Motion this directly. I met him at Race for the Rail too. It's swappable batteries. That's the biggest thing that they could do. There's a lot of things I'd like to see, but number one is swappable batteries. Maybe I could put on a smaller battery if I'm taking a short ride. Maybe I could, but just swapping them out. And they said that the reason, I understand, they said that once you make it swappable, it's a lot more complex and it's not nearly as able to be waterproof. So
yeah,
they, at least then when I talked to them a couple of years ago, it sounds like it's never going to happen. But that's number one. Number two would be, I don't know how many of you guys have ridden a Pint, but there are some design improvements in the Pint. The Pint, even though it's a lesser expensive board, has some improvements in the way it's built to make things a little bit more modular, and it's got some things where they went backwards. But redesign the rails and the structure so that the threads aren't in the rails. Put the threads in the disposable parts like the bumpers. There's a lot of little things that it could have. A lot of people say they want more speed, they want more power. Power maybe, but I'm not a big fan of the speed anymore. I'm so worried about if it can go more than 25 miles an hour. There's only so much you can do with that. And I have a new respect. Well, I always have, and that's why I do a lot of the safety videos. Is I have a respect for. I tell people when I'm training somebody that's never ridden a Onewheel before, one of the first things I say to them is, "Look, it's really, really smooth. It's really, really quiet, and it's really, really fast. Right up until it isn't. You will go super smooth, super calm, super whatever, and then because you don't have the experience, a little wobble, your legs, your ankles don't have the proprioception to react quickly enough, and then you get like in a car they call it like a tank slapper, like it goes one way and then it whips the other direction and then it flips over and then you're splat. So there's only so much you can do about that. You gotta respect it. So that's why, like, especially for beginners. Everybody, if you give them like a top speed mode, they're going to turn it right to the top right from the beginning. I would, but people get hurt, and so you got to be careful. So yeah, it'd be nice to be able to have tires easier to change. The rails strip out too easy, but swappable batteries is probably the biggest thing that it needs.
And for you, my friend, I always see you without no fender.
Yeah.
Do you think that is one thing nobody needs?
I have a fender on one of my boards now, my trail board, and it's kind of become my night like group ride cruiser board, because when the weather's really nice, like you also always see me wearing long pants. That's mostly because when I'm doing tricks, I can't have a fender because I will break it. I don't care what kind of fender it is. When my board's tumbling all the time, when I'm doing tricks, I'm gonna break it. Plus, I like the bareback look. It looks a little bit more slick and smooth and sleek. But it also kicks rocks up on your legs. So if I'm wearing pants, I don't notice it. But I'd like to be able to wear shorts sometimes, or go on group rides at night. Especially we're going to do 20 miles and it's hot, and I can wear shorts. If I put a fender on, I can wear shorts. If I don't, yeah. So I like fenders, but I usually don't wear them because of tricks.
I just want to say hello to Igna. I want to say hello to A board from UK, Igna from Germany. They are here. They say hello to you, and then I want to make the question is like this. Is very simple. For you, Chris, as a rider, you talk about the pint. What do you think about the pint?
I love it. I mean it can't have a whole lot of battery range, and I get that. But if I want to just, and I don't do this very often, I need to do it more often. I need to pull out the pint, because it's fun. It's very snappy. It's great for tricks. If you see my videos, I went back before I wrecked myself and went and got the dark slide on the pint because I wanted to see if it could be done. And it was actually easier on the pint than on the XR, that's for sure. But it's the pint's a lot of fun. It wouldn't be my only board. Like a lot of people are like, oh, I want to get a Onewheel, but they're kind of expensive. Should I just get a pint? I'm like, no, just save up and get an XR. A pint's a great second board or a board for kids, but it would not be my first board because I like the big feel of the XR.
So I just want to say here the queen from Australia. Good morning, Australia, because in Australia is good morning. Nice to see you. You are here. I want to say hello, good morning, guys. And I'm trying to. There is talking about how was that? This video with the football was good for you guys. Is soccer. For us, it's football. I always ask why then. But football for you guys is American football. For you, do you think that they can, if they put a bigger battery in a pint, do you think that is going to be a board that everybody going to use more? Or for me, I think that is too small, but everybody always talk about them. For you, Chris, do you think when they make a little more range, do you think the people is going to use more the pint?
There are a lot of people out there that have put range mods on there. There are some batteries that give a little bit. Some people put a battery on the fender or do the cord to the backpack. And people put a lot of miles on them. For some people, it's comfortable. If I ride the pint for a couple of days in a row, I get very comfortable on it. And it feels natural to me. Then I get back to an XR for a little while. And you get used to it. But the pint has lots of power. It's just, for me, it's got to be a trick sport. It can't be a cruiser because of that pushback. That 14 and a half, 15 mile an hour pushback is so bad on the pint.
Yeah.
But if I pull it out and then go riding slide blocks or something, I never hit 15 miles an hour. I don't notice it. But you try to do a group ride on a pint,
but you broke it, everything.
You're struggling. You're struggling the whole time. Yeah.
You broke the pint complete. That is not a board for you.
Yeah, it's but I had a lot of fun on the pint. When I first got it, I set the world record for range on a pint. I did 17 miles. It's on one of my YouTube channels. Yeah, I did 17 miles on a stock pint. And as far as I know, whatever it is, what now, 2 years later, 2.5 years later, nobody's still broken that record. And I'm not going to tell them how I did it either. No tricks, it's stock pint, but my techniques, I'm not giving away. I think I've still got the record on a plus too. I did 10.2 miles on a plus.
That was the first time you received the pint.
Oh yeah.
When you see the box, what do you think? Oh, that is smaller.
Yeah, you're not ready for that small size. Like I knew it was going to be smaller, but then you pick that thing up and you stand on it. Yeah, they did a lot of things right with the bike though. The tire I think is pretty good on it. It's at least a lot more rounded. The Vega is way too flat on the XR, I think.
But when you see it, the first time I see the pint, I say, "Oh, that is very small."
Look at
That
this
is,
little thing. It's so cute.
yeah, and I say, my feet is not going to fit there. I said
Yeah.
that was the first thing I said. That I think I
My feet aren't that big and they hang off that thing.
for me is that there are two, but it's a nice board. I think that is they made something good for the people who want to go in a city, maybe like that, or people don't ride it. For me, I don't like it personally. I think it's a nice board, but it's not for me. I
I,
prefer more the XR and the Plus because they are made for you to destroy everything, and you cannot destroy the one wheel. It's prepared for everything. That's why. For me, I want to ask you another thing. Is like this. When you ride with the guys, what is important for you is going maybe with one, two, three persons together, going with like last video we see here with Barn, with 20, 30 persons. What you
uh,
like more?
I I like both for different reasons. I think most of the time I like it to be fairly small because it gets when it gets really big, it's hard to keep the group together, and then we get a little bit of a drama about, we left some people behind, and now we got to let them catch up, or all this stuff. But I love riding with just a couple people because it's intimate, especially because we can go fast. Like me and two other guys, and we all ride fast. We don't have to slow down. We just go. But I also like sometimes to make sure to catch the really big rides when there's like 20, 30 people and just that fun of having everybody together and that energy of just hanging out with everybody. So it's, but sometimes I'm not in the mood for it. And so I go right by myself. And then other times I'm like, yeah, I want that group ride.
I have here a question, but I don't understand the question. I think that is, can you promote that you keep riding a one wheel, or will you stick to the AUC?
I can pretty much promise you, you'll never see me switch to music. And I can tell you that because as they look cool, and they actually, some of our friends who ride with us on the group rides, there are things to be envious of on those things, the power, the range. But I used to ski when I was young too. Then snowboards came out. I never went back.
But
So
I
I
think
don't think I'm ever going to go back to that front facing ski style. I'm a sideways kind of guy. So yeah,
yeah, but
there's no UCs for me.
I never ask you this question, but I think because the experience what I know from you and the experience what I see in your videos, I know that you love the one wheel, and I don't believe that you're going to change it. Never, never, never to another thing. I think you love this sport, and the one wheel is like you are addicted to this.
Oh yeah.
To this to the one wheel. If you ride, guys, I'm just going to tell it for me. If you try one time the one wheel, or you're going to love it or you're going to hate it. Like me, the first time I try it, I have an accident.
Oh,
And because I didn't know, I didn't see no videos, and I don't know what was pushback, and I was riding with the one wheel, and I say, "What happening here? He's pushing me back," and I tried to go faster and faster and fast, and then, pow,
I did
nose
the same
dive, yeah, and
thing.
that happens. But then I stop it, and I say, "Boy, I love this.
Yeah.
I'm never going to leave it." And till today, I love it. I know, I understand. Lots of guys say, "Oh, one wheel is not for me," but I love it. I have in the less time now. I having lots of problems with my one wheel with the disconnection, but one guy in Germany is going to try to fix it, and the wish. That's why I come to the next question. Do you have any problems with connection with your board
You mean with
with the
the
one wheel? No, for me, it's like sometimes I don't know what happens. Is sometimes there is maybe 1 month you don't have no problem, with my Onewheel, and then from one day to another, that starts to you make it, you plug it on, and when it's on, maybe 10 meters later, uh, disconnected automatically or
turn.
turn off. And, or maybe you can make a 1 mile or 2 miles, nothing happened, and then again, it's like a
Yeah,
big surprise. And
that's good.
that is not a very nice thing. But I'm trying to fix it. If I don't fix it, I don't know what I'm going.
It
But
needs to be fixed. That's not something that's a safety issue. I couldn't write a board like that. That would scare me.
yeah, I'm now with a little scared because the last time they say that was fixed, I try it, and about 20 meters corner, I push it a little, and whoop, I was in. I was again with a small crash, and that is not a very nice thing. But for you, you never have no issues with the connection with your Onewheel.
Usually not that type of error. Usually it's me doing a trick and then it stops because I know what I know that I was stressing the board and it gave way. But it's because Future Motion doesn't sell us parts. There's a lot of people that have had to get really good at fixing them, and so there are people now that can fix controllers and BMSs,
Like us,
things like that. That's very helpful. I think you guys have a
like
couple
us.
of good ones in Europe.
Yeah, in us we have Tim. That is the guy who do everything for us. That is like our superhero because he makes everything for us. Is he loves the Onewheels, and we are lucky to have him because that is what is for you, my friend. The communication with the company Onewheel uh, is good for you. Is easy for you to speak with them with
It
the.
would probably be very hard. Yeah, I've only spoken with them a few times. I used to email them back in the beginning a lot, and it didn't really give me a lot of information. I met Julian, and he was great. I talked to him a lot at one of the Race for the Rails, and picked his brain about a lot of things, and gave him a lot of my suggestions and opinions and all that. But that's pretty rare. If I needed to get a message to them, I know somebody to get to talk to that could then get to them. But yeah, I don't really have any direct communication with them, but they've always treated me pretty well. They've given me some free repairs before and things because they appreciate what I do for the community. But I haven't sent a board to them in a long time. I don't use them anymore because all my boards are out of warranty and I use all 4209 hardware. So
Mhm.
I pay to fix everything in now. I can't deal with shipping it to them anymore because it takes too long to get it back. So I just pay. I just fix everything.
Yeah,
That's the way
that's why I ask you because that is one big issue for us in Europe. You don't have no communication. If you have something, you have to send to USA and
yeah. Well,
shipping,
yeah,
shipping
that's
and
something I
everything.
wanted to say to you and to a lot of the people that are listening, because I think most of you are in Europe, is that I I really appreciate you guys and what you do. Everybody in Europe and every other country. I know how hard it is here in the United States to get things fixed in the United States. And we've got lots of people around here. And that's why it's so impressive to me when I see, like you were talking about, where he put on an event with 200 people in Europe. And you guys, you don't have the accessibility of parts and everything like we do here. I mean, you have to have a little bit more devotion, a little bit more, you know, it's a little more special to you guys in a different way because of what you have to go through in order to be a part of this. And Future Motion is not big enough to help you much yet. It's better than it was a couple of years ago, but no, I think us American guys, we're always impressed with the Europeans that are able to do this. So
Yeah,
we see,
because we love this. We love this. But
yeah,
sometimes I see the guys here want to have Onewheel. They don't have so much trust because they know they have to ship them to America or they have to do it private. And when you do private, then you're going to lose your guarantee. You don't have nothing with because then the guys from Onewheel, they're going to say, oh, you touch it, now you lose everything.
Yeah, it costs you
and
more
cheap.
every which direction. I mean, the cost of the board is a lot more. I mean, everything's more expensive.
Yeah, that's why I think that is too much. I just want to say here to Igna. I was talking to Chris about this, and it's like this. Everybody knows that Germany in the last 3 days, the COVID came higher again, and maybe they are planning to 22. They are not going to open nothing for us here in Europe. That means we don't know. I love to go with to Flow Life Fest this year, like last year with Ignar. We tried to plan last year, don't happen. This year we want to try to go again, but we don't know what is going to happen with the restrictions. I hope that they open the doors for us to go there, but like always in Europe, you never know what is going to happen. I
Yeah.
just want to say that to from other guys here from UK, hello from UK. That is there's lots of persons who come here to see you, my friend. That's why I ask you, what you think the community, the one wheel community, for you, what was good is like for us. We always tell the one wheel is like a family. For
Oh,
you,
it
is the
is.
same? Huh?
Oh, it really is. It's. I've never had. I could have never imagined I'd have so many friends in my life. I mean, like people that I'm like pretty close with. A lot of them I've never met in real life. People in Europe and stuff. I mean, there are hundreds of friends like on Facebook, and I know these people, and I know them well. And some of them I've never met, but to interact with so many people about something like this, and not to start any shit, but if you go into like the EUC groups or Eastgate groups or any of that, none of them have. There's something special about One Wheels. I think any group of people, like if you hung around with pilots or doctors or people that play tennis or whatever, or mountain bikers, they've all got their own kind of energy. But there's something special about One Wheel energy. There's nothing in the world like it. And why is that? What is it about this self selecting population that's so different than any other population of group or tribe of people in the world? And I think it's, you got people, partly because it's expensive. So you want to play this game, you got to have a little bit of free money to throw around on a toy. So that you got a little bit of that free spirit action. You got to have a little bit of a sense of adventure. You got to have some sort of drive to go have fun, to go out there and go play,
Mm-hmm.
and one thing that you like a lot of these groups have is competition. You pretty much take that out. We're not really in competition with each other. We have competitions, but it's not like football or baseball or any of that where we got to go beat the other team or anything. No, we're just out there to have fun. And like you said, there's so many different ways to do it. It's like some people just want to cruise around. I've met people before, and usually if I see a one wheeler I've never met before, I'll wave, stop, hi, right up to them and kind of chat about it and be like, oh, yeah, I'm in the group or this and that, blah, blah, blah. But I've had other people I rode up to, and they're like, why are you talking to me? Like some people just, they don't want anything to do with community. They just want to go ride their thing and leave them alone. And then you got people that want to ride trails, and you got people that want to do trips, and you got people that want to do like group ride, beer crawls. That's all they do. So there's so many different ways that people get together over this that it creates this whole thing. I mean, when energy gets together and combines, it expands, and that expanding energy is power and it's fuel, and it creates this thing that's happening right now in One Wheel because of all this coming together of just so rare and unusual traits and
Yeah.
abilities that people bring together, and here we are. This is what we get.
So, like she's telling, she's a fantastic. I tell you, this lady, she changed the Australia group rights. If you know her, she made everybody came together. The one
Oh,
wheel,
absolutely.
the skate, the electro skateboards, all of them. Before, if you see about some months before, you don't listen to no events, to no rides, to nothing. And this lady changed everything and bring everybody together.
It's
And
great.
if that's I like her because she has a very special profession. She helps kids with problems with families, or families not leave the kids and something like that. She has a very difficult job, and then he came and she bring everybody together, the communities, and I think that is so beautiful. The last ride in Sydney, that was about 100 riders together,
Oh wow!
and that is,
Jeez.
you have to give him a
Great.
big compliment, because she's,
Yeah.
and every time you see her, she's always laughing, she's always enjoying, and she brings positive energy for all of us. I love her, and I think she's a fantastic person.
Awesome.
She has a special place with us now in our communities. Positive energy is always very important. Like your videos, when we see everything from you is positive, and you bring positive energy for all of us, and that's why we cannot forget you. That's why I put you here as Chris the legend, because you are for us a big legend, because you change the way we everybody is seeing the one wheel. If everybody makes the same like you, maybe we're going to go everybody in the right direction for this sport to go up. Maybe you can make that like what you guys doing. Maybe you can bring that to Olympians or something like that. We can make it as a very important sport for everybody. I just want to ask you something here that I never tried, because we are now close to more than an hour, and I just want to show you something, and can you talk about this? I think that is very funny about this. Do you think that is something for us? Because I see it now. These guys, they bring in this balance board. Do you think that is going to help something for us,
Well, I
or that is like to enjoy?
uh, I think I'm not sure if you're aware of like the whole idea behind this, and they didn't tell me this
No.
directly, but I kind of get. Uh, they Future Motion has patented every part of the one wheel,
Yeah.
and anybody that tries to make something to go on the one wheel, they come out and try to sue them.
Yeah,
So
I know that.
so Float Life is trying to make these bang bumpers, and so they make the balance boards. So I think they're going to try to get around that. I don't think it really would work. I'm not a lawyer, but um, would I spend that much money to have the balance board? No, I would wait for the bang bumpers, but supposedly they priced it in a way that if you parted out everything on there, you would end up saving money anyway. So maybe not a bad idea, but I don't think I would ever buy one and actually use it as a balance board. I think I was able to get my hands on some bang bumpers. I really like
Mhm.
them. They're not quite as slick as float plates if you're really about the slides, but it really makes the board feel different. I'm really hoping they can get the production levels up, and you guys can get some in Europe soon.
Yeah, that is one of the companies that we can buy it, and we receive very fast.
Oh, great! That is
Yeah,
great.
that is if you ask to anyone here in Europe, that is the company we, or most of us, we ask the things from them, and from Crash and Rides.
Right,
You
yeah,
have that is the two companies who bring the stuff very fast. With one wheel, you can forget it, my friend. With a
yeah.
company from one wheel, sometimes you have to forget it. Maybe is out of order, or something like that. I just want to say, what type of foot pads do you use?
That's a really good question. It's going to probably get you a longer answer than you wanted to hear.
No problem.
For a long time, I just rode the factory pads because they're lighter weight. But then I got I think the first concave pad I ever got was the Cush, and I loved it.
Hmm.
It really does feel great. And I've had the Cush High, and that feels great. The Platypus is amazing. I love the Platypus pad from Landsurf because it's actually wider than the board, and even though my feet aren't that big, I love the feel and the shape of it. If you'll see my review on YouTube about it, I do a really detailed review on it because I
Hmm.
think that's a really innovative product. That's really good. But what I ride most of the time, if you see my red growler board, is custom foot pads that I had that are handmade by this guy Christian in
Hmm.
California or Oregon or something. He makes he makes them and he carves them out of wood, and then he puts a pint sensor in the middle. So I have the same thing front and back. They're and both of them have sensors in them. So that board has
Oh
dual
yeah.
sensors. Yeah. So I had it made with dual sensors. So you can touch any part of the board and it'll activate it. So the front two are wired together, the back two are wired together. He calls it POSI. And
Okay.
so all my boards are
What
POSI
video
now.
is this one?
Yeah.
Trying to find it. Let me see. The problem, you have too much videos, my friend.
Too much. Yeah. The dual pads, I don't think I made a video about the dual pads, but you'll see it
Okay.
on my more recent videos. Like you had one where I was just following me around the park. That one. Yeah, my most recent one there, I think even the sling sessions, I think I'm wearing it, Mikey.
Where's one?
Oh, look at the one in the middle at the top. It's the third one from the top. That one. You'll see that board. That's the board I'm riding in there. And you'll kind of see the pads are wooden and
Uh-huh.
handmade.
Uh-huh.
And they're very nice. They're concave front and rear. And I like them. They were expensive because you had to have them made.
Yeah, but that is the important thing. That's for us, for all the guys here. If you give a tip for all of us here, that is very important for us.
Both of
Because
those
sometimes, yeah,
sensors.
because sometimes the problem here in Europe, we receive the information very late. That is the only way that we can buy something is from you guys when you make the videos out. You understand? That
Yeah.
is the problem. If you don't bring something out from us, sometimes is like we are from the side of the cage. You understand? It's like we don't know something, and sometimes you come to me. Oh, do you know this footpath? They come out about 1 year ago, and we are like 1
Yeah.
year, and it's difficult for us. That's why I'm asking you. And
Well, we got some things. There's some things coming in the pipeline, and I know I always love to hear rumors about things that are coming out that aren't out yet. So, you want to hear some rumors?
yeah, of course. Tell me something very
So,
good, please.
hopefully, I'm going to be testing something. You guys, some of you may know about it because there's somebody in Europe I've been talking to that is
Mhm.
supposedly going to. I'm going to try to work with him on getting some front sensor concave foot pads available. So hopefully that's going to be available soon. So that's something that's in the works. And they're already out, but the bang bumpers, I think you guys, there's going to be 3 different kinds of bumpers aftermarket now: the bang
Mhm.
bumpers, the butter bumpers, and the bumpers from Robert Allen, the Badger bumpers. I forget what he's calling them now. But I've had my hands on the butters and the bangs, and they're both good. I like the butters a little. I mean, the bangs a little better for the way I ride. But that's
That
that's
is very good to know. I just want to say hello to the lady from Christy
Oh,
Miller.
Christy
He's here.
Miller. Hey, Bart's wife.
She's going to come next month here.
I'll have to
She's
watch
going
that for sure.
she's going to come here for the Sunday ladies riders, the Queen ladies riders every Sunday. Don't forget, in the morning we always have a lady here. That we It's very important to support all the lady riders all around the world. They are fantastic. That's why. And is the person who make the interview is a lady from Germany, and she has a pint. She is a rider of pint. Her name is Hella, and she makes the interview with the ladies normally because that
Oh,
is. I think that is fantastic. So
yeah.
I just want to say to what she say. Okay, go after to go front. Yes. Then everybody's saying hello because everybody's surprised that she is here. It's the first time she is here, huh? We never see her. That is the first time she come here. That is thank you for coming. Huh? That you see, Chris, that you are a very, very special person. So let's go to the last questions. For me, my friend, is like this. What you like before that? What type of grip tape do you use, my friend? Sorry.
Another
Sorry.
interesting question. So people send me grip tape a lot, and I like the way the really grippy grip tape functions, like the Craft and Ride. I don't like Vicious because
Hmm.
even though it feels okay, it wears out too fast. So I have no use
Hmm.
for it whatsoever. The Badger grip is really grippy, but anything really grippy like that, it shreds your shoes.
Hmm.
And when I'm doing tricks and I fall on that grip tape, it tears me up. So what I use is back when I used to skateboard, one time on Amazon, you couldn't just buy one sheet of grip tape, so I bought like it ended up like a 10 pack of sheets of grip tape or something. But it had been sitting in my storage unit for like 15 years. So I found that's what I've been using. So I use Shorty's brand Black Magic grip tape from circa 2010 or something, grip tape. And it's grippy enough, especially if you got relatively fresh shoes. It's not going to tear your hands off when you touch it on accident. It does not shred your shoes, and it's good enough. On my trail board, I do have some really grippy grip tape because when it gets wet and muddy, then like Shorty's grip tape doesn't do you much good. So if I was ever in a race, a trail race, or ended up muddy, getting my foot pads muddy, yeah, I'd want like Float Life grip. Would probably be my choice, or maybe Badger. But the Float Life grip, I don't know what the hell they make that shit out of, but it you can't hurt it. I used to ride it for a while, and I've never had to replace Float Life grip because it wore out.
I'm going to send you. There is something is going to come out in the maybe next month is going to come out from a friend for me. He created for the skateboards, and now I talk with him, and he created for the Onewheel because I said you have to do for the Onewheel, and I'm going to ask it to send it one for you, just for you to try it.
Cool. I'll have to try it out.
The name is Dope Grip Tape.
Okay.
He's a German. I'm going to tell him and to contact you, and he's going to send you something for you to try it.
Oh,
I think that is very, 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 very good. Maybe you like it. I think he has a Dick one, but that is very good. And then he has now the new one that he's going to put out, and you can try it. I'm going to send for some different riders in America. I'm going to give him the name, and I hope that he has lots of success. I think the product is good, and it's going to be very nice to hear from you guys if it's good or if it's shit.
That sounds fun. Stuff.
And I always like to listen to the person to tell the truth. If it's shit, it's shit. Better to tell to everybody. I'm a guy like this. If I don't like it, I say, okay, guys, that is not. Maybe it's for other persons, but my opinion maybe it's different from other. I like it, but maybe you're not going to like it, or for what you do. Maybe I think this grip tape is good for going off-road or trails.
Yeah.
It's not maybe it's so nice for you to do what you do. Lots of fun with Onewheel and something, because that is a little grippy. But now they have the other one is not so grippy. Then maybe it's better for you. But I'm going to tell it that everybody here in Germany is waiting. We are waiting so many months. I think next month is going to be finished. I hope. And I hope lots of success from them. My friend, the other thing, what I want to ask you is like this. Bearings. Do you ever change how many times?
It may be surprising with the way that I use my boards, and they take a kind of a beating. I've never had to replace bearings because I damaged them. I've replaced them twice, and that was when I bought a hub off of somebody else, and I replaced them. The bearings that I like for now, and a lot of us here have been using them, hundreds of sets have been really, really good, are the FAG bearings, FAG. I think they're maybe German made or Austrian made or something. They're not super expensive, but they've been really good for Onewheels. So that's what I have been using.
When you do your things with your board, do you make for everybody there to understand it? Do you put this here? What's the name of this here?
Oh, the wax.
Do you use a lot from this, or
the wax,
don't need it?
No, the wax is not for the board. The wax is for.
It's for the.
Things. I do use it sometimes. I usually don't need it, but sometimes you'll have like really rough concrete or something, and I'll use a little bit of the wax. And I have the actual Float Life wax, which is great. It works fine. I've got a
that's why I ask you, because sometimes the persons always ask, they have to always use that, but I think you don't use so much.
You don't have to. A lot of the time, it's one of those things that you can overdo it really easily, and things are too slick and it's hard to control. You're like flying all over the place. So better to try something without it first, and then if you're sure you need it, throw a little wax on. It's good to have though. It's something everybody should have. Probably if you do tricks and stuff, and you like to cruise around and find new spots, it's something you'll want to have in your backpack.
Yeah. I just want to ask you, my friend, you are a rider for Flow Life, the Flow Life guys, but you as a rider, forgetting today that you are a friend, what you say to everybody who wants to buy products for them? Do you recommend it or not? For you, my friend. Then I give you my opinion. I love
Yeah,
them. I think they are fantastic riders. I think the products from them they are fantastic. I know that I tested. They are riders, and all the products I have, I always buy from them. Till today, they are good products for
yeah,
me.
yeah.
So,
They've always taken good care of me, but they're I would buy from them no matter what because there's certain things they have that nobody else has. I mean, they've got for the way I like to ride. They ride the way I like to ride, so they like to do tricks and all that stuff. So like the float plates, I can't live without them. I mean, I don't even I couldn't count how many sets of float plates I bought. The sidekicks they work great and they have the colors that I like. The I'm not into their Burris tires. I like Hoosier tires, so I don't buy tires from them.
mhm.
Uh, I don't buy bearings from them, but I have some of their clothes. So yeah, I mean, I buy some from one vendor, some from another, whatever.
It's like me too. I buy
Those
it
Boulder
too.
denim jeans are fantastic.
Uh-huh.
That I've got several sets of Boulder denim jeans. I'm on the team Boulder denim, but I would wear them even if I wasn't because I don't know what they make those things out of, but I can't hurt them. I've never put a hole in a set of them. After all these years, I've fallen so many times. They're tough, they're light, they fit, they look good. But those I really like. I like the green color, and they're a little bit thicker than like their plain ones, but they're a nice texture. I like the texture and the design. Those are a really good set of jeans. So yeah, most of the Float Life stuff I buy and use. I don't do fender deletes just because I don't do fender
Mhm.
deletes. Um, but yeah, most of the stuff they uh, they
I just
sell
want to say, I
really
just
good.
want to say, we are not pay. I'm just talking about the Flow Life because I think Flow Life they help lots of riders and they do lots of stuffs for the riders. I think that is a company we have to talk about it. I think that is a company that we have to make propaganda for the world because they organize so many things for us and they make so many work for us. They bring all the riders like Chris now is working with them together. If Chris is working with them, they has a fantastic team. All of them, they are very, 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 very good riders. That is a big team. I know that they changed it because I contacted about 2 months ago, and they say, Nelson, we're not going to make the interview with you now because we are changing the shop to another place. But later, we're going to do it. They're going to
Great.
come here. Yeah, they're going to come here. I speak with um, with his wife too. She's a fantastic rider. She
Yeah,
tell me
really
she's
good.
going to come too, and I want to have the team complete here one day, not just one rider. I want to have the 10 or the eight
Yeah,
persons from all in the same interview, and I want to do that because I think that will be fantastic. So
yeah.
I just want to go to the end, my friend. Is like this: if you have a chance, guys, go to his YouTube channel. You're going to see lots of content from him. Subscribe, give a like, write him something if you have questions. Maybe when he has time. Now he's a little injury. Maybe he has time to answer to you, all of you guys. Go to his Instagram. Is as always lots of photos, lots of things. Go to his Facebook. There you can see like this two guys. There, that was when I see the first time. I was thinking you guys are going to hit the two of you. I think
Yeah,
I was thinking, oh, it's going to happen something, and then nothing happened. I was like, because he's Miller is crazy.
yeah. Oh, yeah. He's wild. He's awesome.
Then I want to speak for before we close it here. Oh, sorry, that was not a picture. I just want to say that here, my friend.
Oh,
That
we're
that is a
excited. We're so
That is.
lucky here in South Florida. Our friend Corey Baina, which is from Armadillos. If you're not familiar with them, you should get familiar with that company too.
Mhm.
They make some amazing products. But he's local and he's also a photographer, and so he takes these shots. He calls me up and he's like, "Let's go get some shots." So I'll put on some colorful clothes and we go out and take shots like this. I love it. He's such a talented photographer. He's an award-winning photographer.
Yeah, that I just want. That is when I see the first time the picture, I say I have to put it this in the logo. That was
It's
another
another Corey
fantastic.
photo. Yeah,
Yeah, that is like crazy one. And
yeah.
this one, I think this photo is like
That one.
I don't know how to describe it. That is an amazing picture.
Yeah,
That
he
is
was
like
taking it with this massive lens, so we had to go. He had to go like way, way, way across the street to get it that depth of field like that. He composed that shot amazingly, and then I had this idea that luckily that barrel was full of whiskey or beer or something, so it was really heavy, so I could get on top of it and then bonk off of it and
that
stay
was full
still.
of whiskey.
Yeah,
That was good.
or
But that
beer
was
or
that is
something.
full of whiskey. Yoo-hoo!
Yeah,
Yeah, but that is like fantastic photos, my friend. I just want to say to everybody there. I just want to say to the Queen. Yes, I'm going to try to get you a grip tape to you too because you are very fantastic. For the Millers, I tell the same thing. I want to try to say to the guys to send for you. I hope that the guys there they can send you and later. I just want to. I have your email and everything. I'm going to give to the guys and then they contact with you guys. So first of all, my friend, like always, I just want to make you that is like always I make this question. What do you like you, Chris, to happen this year for you and everybody around the world?
the biggest thing would be for everybody to wake up.
That is very good, my friend.
I
And
think everybody knows what I mean,
yeah,
especially your
everybody,
guys are suffering worse from it than we are, and everybody needs to open their eyes.
we have to
If that
open, my
happens,
friends.
all the love's going to come back, and everything, and so much more is ready to become possible. It's ready. It's right.
Yeah,
It's been waiting, and it's time.
yeah. I think it's time. I think it's the same like you, my friend. So I just want to say to everybody who was there, for everybody is going to see later the video. First of all, go there, subscribe by Chris. Uh, give him a very good like for all his videos. Enjoy it. Uh, then, if you don't have a one wheel, buy one. There is two guys here. One wheel. Try it. If you have a chance, go to a group ride or to a friend who have a one wheel. Say, "Hey guys, can I try it?" Or go to a
Borrow one.
shop.
Try it out.
Yeah, try it first before you buy it and see if that is for you. And watch it. Most of the times when you try it, then you have to go and buy it. Then, and second of all, before you ride it, go and see the videos from Chris. There is lots of information. Don't do the failure like me. I make a big mistake not knowing what I was doing. There is a pushback and there is a nosedive. Uh, the two of them can happen, but if you see the information from Chris there, the videos, you're going to understand how to ride the one wheel, and you're not going to make the same mistake like
Yeah.
me. Then you're not going to fall. That is some rules in one wheels that you have to respect it, and if you respect these two rules, know what is a pushback and knows how to respect the board, then you're never going to happen nothing to you.
Yeah.
Then go to Chris and see his videos. He has lots of content for you. And Chris, thank you very much. I
Oh,
hope
thank
to
you.
see you. I
I'm
hope to
really
see you
happy
this
you
year.
guys have been following my stuff, and I'm happy to make this stuff. I don't make a whole lot. I need to make more. I've been writing a lot. I'm working on some new tricks that haven't been done before, and I put this stuff out there because it's the stuff that I would have wanted to know and it would have saved me a lot of pain and injury if I'd have known before I got my one wheel. So as always, a lot of the my content comes from people writing in my comments on YouTube or whatever, saying, "Hey, what I want to learn about this. Can you do a video on this?" Or tell me about this. And I'm like, "Yeah," and then I'll go make a video on it. So sometimes it helps to think about the things you want to learn. Let me know. We'll make it happen.
And believe it, what he said is very important. Write him, and he's going to help him to create something for you. That is your question, and he's going to put in a video for you guys, and that is going to help you guys. And that is the important thing. Do is important for the YouTubers like me here in the channel. If you have questions, if you have ideas, if you have riders to come here in a moment, not because I'm completely full till end of May. I don't make no more reservations. I have complete full here, guys. But if there is another YouTubers who want to do this, and maybe they're going to do better than me, please bring the riders, bring the brands, the companies who help the riders. Let's talk more with the riders, the guys who make so much for us. We are the persons who buy the things. We are the most important of all. That's why I start with this channel, to everybody to know, for us to know, all of us, each other. We can do something very special. And next time, if I go to USA, I can go to you and say hello, my friend.
Oh, yeah.
And that was a nice interview, and I can have a drink with you. I have a talk with you, and it's going to be a very pleasant day. And maybe I'm going to learn a little more about you, and I'm going to make videos and photos from you, my friend.
Yeah. All right.
So I don't want to keep you no more, my friend. I just want to say to everybody, thank you very much for coming. For everybody going to see the video later, don't forget, I'm going to put all the links from Chris there. Subscribe. He has shown lots of followers, but let's make it Chris bigger for it to create more stuff for us. Thank you very much, Chris. Thank you
All
very
right. Thank
much for
you.
coming.
Oh, it's been
And we
great.
are. And I just want to say,